So Andrew, before we talk about life as a dad, I have to ask you about something super cool that you just did. You're on American Ninja Warrior. How was that experience like for you?
It was so much fun. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty skeptical going in. You see the show and you're like, I don't know, I think I could do that probably.
Yeah.
And the announcers, and it just has like this unique vibe to it. But I ended up training for like 2 or 3 months, met some awesome people, kind of got to know like the community a little bit. And then when we showed up to actually do the competition, it was so much fun. So I'm hoping I get to do it again in the
Yeah.
future, but we'll see. Yeah. So it should air in a couple weeks.
That's awesome. And what was the hardest part of training for you?
So for a big guy, like most of the guys who do American Ninja weigh 170 pounds. I weigh 230.
Oh,
So
wow.
I dropped 20 pounds just to do the show, which was tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. And was it fun though, training to go up the wall at the end?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Yeah. That was the easiest part. I just had to get there because
Okay.
all the other stuff was like the hanging, which is not my forte, but anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I cannot wait to see your episode and I will be cheering you on and hopefully you get to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so Father's Day is coming up. Do you have any Father's Day plans with Shawn, or is she kind of taking the reins and going to surprise you with something?
Shawn likes taking the reins on stuff like this. She's really good at surprises. She's an amazing planner and like super thoughtful with stuff like this. So I'm excited. I don't know what the plans are, but I think she's cooking something up and I'm excited to find out what the plans are.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for you. And I know you did a great job on Mother's Day because you took her to like a massage or something.
Yeah, she had a good day. So she got a like a prenatal massage. She went out and got a little spa day, did her nails, the whole thing. So since she's pregnant this year, that's pretty much what she wanted, just a low key kind of restful day, and that's what she got.
Great. That's awesome. And so what has been your favorite part of being a dad so far?
All right, here's my thing. They don't tell you how much fun parenting is. It's the best thing ever. It's so much fun. Uh, Here's the best way I feel like I can describe it. Like you're with this child every day.
Yeah.
And so you see what they're capable of, on day A. And then on day B, C, and D, you see how they grow and learn and like their curiosity. Like anytime Drew's exploring something, it's hilarious just because you could see her actively figuring it out. And I don't know, it's like a huge honor to be a parent. And I love Drew. She's like my favorite person I've ever met.
Oh,
So just seeing her, she's like saying a bunch of words now, which is
that's so
crazy.
cute.
And it's just fun. Yeah, she's just a fun person to hang with.
What's a word that she keeps repeating recently?
Okay. We don't watch a lot of TV at our house, but Drew wants to. And so her favorite show, whenever she gets to, is Coco Melon. And so she'll roll out of bed and point to the TV and be like, Coco, Coco. And so she'll just say Coco over and over again. But she's been able to say octopus, which I feel like is pretty
That's a hard
complex.
word.
I know, she's killing it. I'm proud of her.
That's amazing. Good for her. And what has it been like parenting or like being around your child literally 24/7 because of the pandemic?
Yeah, I just feel like we had to kind of figure out what our routine was. I definitely needed a little time like by myself, just
Yeah.
because the noise and constant hands-on part
Mhm.
of parenting can get exhausting. So just having some like blocked out times in the day where I know like, hey, from 10 to 2, I can count on being able to focus and knock out some work. That's been great. But honestly, it's so nice to not have to commute, not have to drive anywhere, not have to worry about travel. And you can
Yeah.
bank on waking up every morning and kissing your baby hello and kissing them goodnight in the evening. So it's
Yeah.
great.
That is great. And so we talked to Shawn a few weeks ago and she said that you are the perfect girl dad. What is your favorite part about being a dad to a little girl?
So my parenting strategy is to try to get involved in the activities that she's involved with, not force her into activities that I'm interested in.
Okay.
So I feel like it's fun just because she's interested in different things than I naturally would be, or potentially a boy naturally would be.
Mhm.
So she's really into like she'll paint her nails with marker, or I don't. It's just like a bunch of random stuff, and
Yeah.
it's fun. So
Yeah, it's nice that you're just like super hands-on, like whatever she wants to do, you're like, I'm game, let's do it.
yeah, it's more fun that way, I feel like.
Yeah. And so you are currently a dad to a girl, but you're going to have a boy in July, I believe.
Let's go. Let's
So
go.
you seem excited. What are you most excited about having a son?
All right, so Drew is my like I wanted a girl first time around. She's exceeded my expectations and beyond. She's so cool. But then like you realize, okay, you hear parenting boys and girls are different.
Yeah.
So I would have been stoked for a girl this time, but I'm excited to get to experience what it's like to raise a boy. And I just feel like there's, when they grow up, you could get rowdy with them, and you just
Mhm.
hear country songs about fishing with your son, and I'm like, that'll be me. I'm gonna be
That'll be
fishing with
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
And how are you and Shawn preparing for life with two under two?
I'm excited. I feel like we're probably a little bit on the disillusioned, maybe arrogant side of like optimism. Just be like,
Yeah.
hey, we've done it once. We can like the second will be no problem. And it's interesting when you talk to people who will give you advice about what it's like to parent two. Some of them say that it's way easier than like the first one. Some of them say that it's way harder. So I don't really know what to expect,
Yeah.
but I do feel like there's a massive like identity shift that you go through going from 0 kids to 1 kid, and you just understand the responsibilities and the
Yeah.
schedule shift, the communication changes, and all these different like routine things. And I feel like we made that leap, which was tough for
Mhm.
us. So we got some of it knocked out of the way. So
Yeah.
I'm still optimistic.
That's good. Love the optimism. And do
Yeah.
you think Drew is going to be a super cool older sister? I feel like she would. And does she like understand that she's going to have a baby brother, or is she still kind of like figuring that out?
No, I think she has no idea, to be honest. And I hope she makes the transition well. We have a little baby nephew that was just born a couple months ago, and Drew's hung out with them a little bit. And to see how tender and gentle she is with that
Oh,
baby, like she'll bend over gently and kiss him on the forehead, and it's like the cutest thing ever. So I think she'll be fantastic. I do think it'll be a transition for her as well. So we'll have to fight through
yeah.
that one too.
So 2 weeks ago or a few weeks ago, you and Shawn posted this cool video on YouTube of like you guys going through baby names, and it's kind of like you would swipe right and left like you would on Tinder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which you also did for Drew.
Yes.
So you guys said you were having a hard time picking a name for a boy because you both thought you were having a girl and you kind of had a name locked in. It's been a few weeks. Do you guys have a name locked in for your son? And are you doing a gender neutral name this time too?
Okay, so we like names that are like traditional with twists. So Andrew is a pretty traditional name, but Drew is like kind of, modernized, if you will. We
Yeah.
had a boy's name way back in the day, like before we had Drew, that we loved, and then we finally got pregnant with a boy, and we didn't like it anymore. And then Shawn was settled in on one, like a little bit ago. Then she didn't like that anymore. So we have 2 that we're playing with right now. We're
Okay.
not sharing them though, Emily, because
Okay.
we don't know. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll see if it. I don't know. The day of the birth, you always get like cold feet about the name.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
You'll see when like the baby's born and you're like, oh, you don't really look like a what like
Yeah,
so and so.
exactly. Yeah.
So actually, I watched your video and I wrote down some of the names that you and Shawn both liked, and I
Yeah.
picked some of my favorites. So can I share
Share,
my favorites and maybe give me like a
please.
link or something? If
Yeah.
I'm kind
Let's
of
go.
close. Okay, so the first one: Jackson East,
Okay.
Axel East,
Okay.
Grayson East, and Raiden East.
I will say Raiden was an early leader. Uh,
But it's
but
not anymore.
that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'll
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Jack.
Traditional.
Yeah.
Like traditional.
Yeah.
Were you guys also like when you were coming up with the name this time or like thinking of names, were you also saying like Drew and Jackson, Drew
Yes.
and Axel, like make sure they look or they sound well together?
Yeah. That's probably like, I don't know, 6th or 7th on the priority list, but it's only a
Yeah.
consideration. Like you want it to sound cool. Like, hey, these are my kids, Drew and Bebop or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you mentioned earlier that you're kind of just letting your kids do whatever they want and like whatever interests them. You are a professional football player. You're going to have a son. would you want to put your son in football, or would you love it if he gravitated towards that sport?
There's two sides to marrying an Olympic gymnast, Emily.
Yes.
Obviously, Shawn's incredibly athletic, 10 times more so than me, but she's also way short. So I don't know if the height will carry over into the boy, but it's not super beneficial to be short in football. Honestly, if he's anything like Drew, he's going to be a tank. So I think he'll have his choice at getting involved in whatever number of sports he wants to. We'll see if it's football. I would love that though, because
That'd be super
my
cool.
dad played college football. I played college football, and it'd be fun to see him do the same. So,
And do you think Drew will ever dabble in gymnastics, or are you just kind of going to see if she likes it maybe one day?
we're having that conversation. Drew is incredibly active. She does not want to sit still. She's not a cuddler. She's always doing something and like exploring. She's climbing on stuff. She's running around. It's nuts. So we're like toying with the idea of getting her enrolled in a gymnastics class just to have her burn some energy. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see. I think she'll be good at it, but I don't know.
Nice. And so you and Shawn, I have to ask about this. You and Shawn posted a hilarious video on your YouTube and on your social medias the other day of
Mm.
Shawn making you feel like you were pregnant. And she put this big ball that was like 14 pounds, I think, on you. And she put it with saran wrap, which was very clever. How did you come up with that idea? Because it was brilliant.
Shawn, we have conversations where I don't know if she saw it on the internet, but we do talk a lot about how she wishes I could experience or sympathize with
Yeah.
what it's like to be pregnant. So we did a contraction simulator when we were pregnant with Drew. We did that again this time around. But you don't really appreciate how much your mobility gets restricted when you're pregnant. So this was our take at that. She had a blast. She had too much fun doing it. So I think she likes seeing me suffer a little bit. And also she realized that I'm not as tough as she is. So she liked that too. But anyway, that was fun.
What was the hardest thing for you to do with the big ball on you?
Man, it's all uncomfortable. I'll tell you what, bending over, like putting on socks or pants is a whole new game. And then also like the whole arrangement compresses your stomach. And so I was burping a lot. I felt like I had pregnancy indigestion, the whole thing. Anyway, it was wild. But
Yeah, we definitely sympathize with Shawn way more, and
Yeah.
every pregnant woman way more after watching that. So last question. You are, I believe, one of 5 kids, right?
Yes, middle of 5.
Oh wow, middle of 5. Okay. So do you and Shawn want a big family? I know you have one on the way. So are you kind of going to wait to see how things are with 2 and then decide if you want to keep expanding, or do you think
You know
more?
what I think would be a blast is having twins. So I know that pregnancy is tough on Shawn, and we are in this phase with Drew where we're having so much fun. So we're like, man, we should have as many kids as we can have because this is a blast.
Yeah.
But we'll see how 2 is first and then reevaluate from there. It'll be tough. Like now that we have a girl and boy, there's kind of, oh, we've done it both. We've done it all. So it's not like we're feeling like we need to have another kid to
Yeah.
experience the other side, but we'll see.
Do you think if you would have had a girl this time, you would have tried another time or 2 until you got like a boy, just to try parenting a boy and a girl?
I think we would have, yeah.
Yeah. So now it's a game changer. So I guess we'll have to stay tuned.
I do want to say, Emily, happy Father's Day to the other dads out there. It's an important role, and
Yes.
I know it's exhausting sometimes. It takes a lot of strategy and thinking and effort, but it's important. So keep it up, and it's worth it. And I'm just honored to be a dad myself. So keep doing your thing.
And can't wait to see you be a dad of 2 and have a boy. And we wish you and Shawn the best in the coming months.